Hey guys, it's the Prophet here with another video, and today we're going to talk about how me and my buddy got server first 60 on Takamagahara. Basically, I'm just going to walk through on what we started with doing, how we got there, how we got ahead, what was our schedule looking like, and we'll just get started. So this is my gear right now. I'm at 60 for about 2 days now. Not too bad for just being a fresh 60 for the most part. Me and my buddy, we had around, I think when we hit 60 it was 3 hours and 10-minute playtime. So that's barely fast compared to a lot of other people we're seeing on the server that aren't even near 60 and they've had more playtime than us. For my trade skills, as you can see, my trade skills are pretty high for what we were doing with regards to town boards and everything else. We didn't just stop doing gathering and refining stuff just when we were questing. So I'm just going to walk you through what we did. So first off, 1 through 20, I have a video on that of what we would do, and that's just main story quest. Get to level 12, do the main story quest line started here, get that all the way until Amaranth Expedition, which is here. Once we hit 23, 24, we did Amaranth, just because you need level 23, I want to believe, for the Archimedes quest, which is extra XP. So 23, we did that. And once we finished that, we would continue the main story quest line until it took us up to Brightwood. It takes you up to Brightwood pretty quickly right after that, so we went to Brightwood. And as you can see, we did basically every single quest here. We did all the main story. These are all like little side ones that don't really matter. At the time, we just couldn't do them. Like this is the elite one. This is just pointless one. I wouldn't even worry about it. So we did the main story quest line, and we did all the side missions for this entire story until we got to the elite zone, which we then did. And this took us to about level 32, I want to say. And then at level 32, we went down to Cutlass. Cutlass Keys, we went, me and him, my buddy, two-manned it again. I was in a two-man the entire time. It was just me and him. I'm rapier bow, and he's life staff user. So it was a pretty solid combo throughout the whole leveling process. After we did the entire Cutlass Keys section, all the quests here, we went back up to Weaver's Fen. And we did the whole Weaver's Fen story, as you can see. Entire zone is basically cleared of quests. These are pointless quests. They're like potion ones, and the Armoring 55 stuff that is kind of pointless to do because the gear is not even worth it. After this, we went to actually Great Cleave, because Great Cleave has the quest line to get up north, and you have to do it eventually. I would not recommend going to Great Cleave before Restless Shore, unless you're in a group. So we did Great Cleave before Restless Shore just because we were in a group. And these towers they take you to and whatnot, and there's just so many mobs there that it's pretty hard to solo unless you have a group or you outlevel it completely. So I would not recommend going here unless you're in a group. I'd start with Restless Shore. But after Great Cleave and we hit a wall again, we went to Restless Shore. As you can see, did every single quest here until we got the expedition quest, which we did. This is the main story quest line, takes you to the depths, which is right here. It is a tough dungeon. I would not recommend doing it under level 45 unless you have a pretty solid group and in comms and know what you guys are doing. It's just a waste of time if you're under leveling it, because Thorpe is not an easy task if you are under geared. So after we finished Restless Shore and did the depths, and we were like, okay, let's how we can continue the main story quest line until we hit a wall. So we did main story quest line until we hit another wall, and then we went to Morningdale. Morningdale, as you can see, there's absolutely 0 quests here. We did every single one. Once we finished all these quests, me and my buddy, we did portals with our guild. We had like 30 people meet up in Morningdale. You run up here. There's portals that spawn here. You do these portals. You run all the way up here. You do these portals over here. You do a little loop-de-loop, and then you come all the way back down to here. You do these portals right here. And you come through this gap right here, kill yourself in the water, respawn at Morningdale, and then you do south ones. And then you go here, do all these portals, kill yourself in the water, start at Morningdale, and then restart the whole loop. You can do about 30,000 XP an hour by doing this. The best way to do, the reason you want to do it in Morningdale is territory standings. Morningdale, every time you hit a Morningdale standing, you'll get a huge XP drop, and the portals give good territory standing, so it's solid XP. At some point, you're gonna want to do like these filler stuff, where it's either mob grinding or portals or other little things to help boost the XP, because there's points in this game where you hit a wall and you have no more quests to do. So we did this until about 52, 53. Once we hit that, we went to Eden Grove, finished up these quests, and then once we got to about 55, I want to say 58, we had to then go to Evanscale, which, as you can see, we did every single quest here until we got to the story. Once we did all those quests, we went to Rakewater, finished all these quests, and then by that time we were pretty close to 60. We were about 59. At 59, we went all the way up to Shattered and finished as much quests of this quest chain as we possibly could, which we got pretty far. I'm at the legendary weapon quest lines now, which you basically need groups for, and no one else is 60 and they're grilled right now, so we gotta wait. But for the most part, the main tip that I can give you is pick up town boards throughout the leveling process. We would, every time we had a lot of Azoth from the main story quest line, we would come back to the towns. And since we had 3 of the towns, we had Everfall, Windsward, and Monarchs for most of the leveling process actually, we would do triple town boards, so we'd go between these 3 zones and pick up town boards. And town boards I would pick up anything over 700 XP basically, so anything like oil I would not do, this would lose space I wouldn't do unless I had the bait, so I click it, check if I had it in my storage, and then whatever, use it. Turkeys are a huge one, they're everywhere, so you can kill them on the way to routes. Any low-level cloth is usually worth it because it's pretty easy to find. Alligators I wouldn't really do unless you're in that zone. Light rations definitely do. And then all the armorants, like the iron armorants and whatnot, are really solid, as in my weaponsmithing is 88. So I did not level this at all. This is all done through town boards. And now we just go back and forth. Every time we hit a wall, every time we hit a lot of Azoth, we would just do town boards for a little bit. It would be in like maybe an hour or 2 a day. I would just going back and forth through these 3 zones and turning town boards in. And the other tip I can give you is when you are questing, to make sure to pick up all PvE faction missions.
The light of the
so
Covenant
we got these
shines
top
within
missions
you.
here. These are really good to always pick up. Chances are they're going to overlap with other quests you have in that area. So before you start a new zone, always just pick it up. So if you were in Weaver's Fen and you picked up those 3 PvP missions, you could have a chance of them being 2 of them can be stacked right here. So you'd be doing this quest and then 2 PvP missions on top of that. So it's just extra XP when you come back to town. Definitely worth doing. You got to be efficient. Another tip I can give is if you have a lot of quests in one area, say you have a quest out here, you have a quest out here, you have a quest out here, let's just say for sake, you want to go do a loop and come back. Don't go here, come back, don't go there, come back, don't go there, come back. It's a waste of running, waste of time. You want to be efficient, you want to always be gathering, you want to always be cutting, you always want to be doing quests. So it's definitely staying efficient, planning out your routes before you leave the town is definitely a way to not waste your precious time, because there is a lot of running in this game. And then lastly, a couple other tips is skidding. Skidding is a huge tip. As you can see, my level is 200. There's a boar farm out here in Restless Shore called Boar's Home. There's a hyper spawn here of all boars. It's probably pretty busy on your server about now. Chances are people have found out about it. So it's decent XP. It's not the greatest, but the big XP drops is going from 100 skinning to 200 skinning, because you need 100 skinning to even skin them, but 100 to 200 you get about 200 to 600 XP drops per skinning level, and that's like every other boar you hit a XP drop. So it's definitely worth getting 200 skinning either there, or me and my buddy, we found actually a better one out here in Great Cleave, which is right here. This one's a little higher level, so I wouldn't do this until 50, but if you had a group of 3 or 4 and you wanted to come here, and there's a hyper spawn of wolves that is just absolutely insane, and your skinning level will go insanely fast up, and it's just solid XP. I would stop once you hit 200 skinning though. Other than that, we were the first on the server to do the Dynasty. which is pretty cool. It's a tough dungeon, and it's a lot of fun. It's probably my favorite zone is Evanscale Reach. And I'm trying to think of if there's any other tips or tricks I can give you guys that helped us. I would definitely always upgrade your tools when you have the chance. We have a couple crafters in our guild that give us the tools, so we funnel them materials and they give us the tools. Same with storage. We have someone in our guild leveling up furnishing, so that's helping us with storage. As you can see, my storage in Neverfall is 2,225. The reason I'm able to have that much storage is because my house, I don't know if some of you guys probably don't know this, but if you own a house, you can put storage things in your house through the furnishing profession, and it's these giant crates, and each one of them is 300 additional storage to your storage shed. So that's a huge way of keeping mats and whatnot. And then another tip I would say is definitely hold on to everything. Whatever it is, hold on to it. You probably need it at some point or the other. Bait, herbs, anything you possibly can have. Like, I just hold on to literally everything. Right now I'm working three storage sheds. So I got Windsward, I got a bunch of stuff here. I got Cutlass Keys is my cooking one. I got all my cooking stuff here. As you can see, it's just, you're going to need this stuff eventually. My cooking level is very, very high because cooking is so easy to do without even, it's mindless. I'll just pick up stuff on the way to stuff, and eventually you'll have so much stuff in your bank that you'll be able to drop a lot of cooking levels. And the cooking level XP drops are insane, so that's another reason how we got to 61st. Other than that, yeah, if you guys have any questions, just please drop them below and I'll answer anything you guys have. And good luck with the level.